Hey guys, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. This video today is a actual subscriber requested video requested by Waffles. And he wanted me to take a look at and do a distribution review of an independent distribution that is actually a great one. I drove it for about 7 months and I had no issues with it whatsoever. It's a little different to install. We're going to go through the install process today because a lot of people have some problems with it. But other than that, it's a great lightweight distribution that is an independent distro that does not use System D at all. It uses the Run It system, and its package manager is awesome. And it basically is one of those distributions that a lot of people have talked about in the past, but it for some reason it has the feel, or well, I would say the 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 actual misnomer that it's a, like a veteran system, like not noob friendly system to install and use, but it actually the install process is the part that's the hardest part of it. But after that, everything else becomes kind of as a normal regular system. The only difference is you have to use its package manager versus one that you'd standardly use like apt, or the Pac-Man or whatever. But it's used the same way though. If you know how to use apt package manager, then you can use this one's package manager. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. We're going to go into the void. That's right. Today we're going to take a look at Void Linux. I will have the link to the webpage in the description down below. What I wanted to go, I mean, obviously, if you go to the home page, it's going to give you the entire rundown of it. That it's not a fork; it's independent. It's also a stable rolling release, so therefore you get current packages versus held back, somewhat outdated packages, but you get the current stable releases of these updated packages. Once again, it uses the Run It system. It uses C library diversity, which uses Musel and GNU libc, and then its package manager is XBPS, which is, like I said, you can use it very similarly for the command wise as you would apt package manager, or like DNF Dragor, DNF, you do like DNF install, or apt install, that kind of stuff. The commands are pretty much the same uh, for it. But what I wanted to show you is the download page. It only comes in the XFCE version, okay, for your live image, or the base version. The base version is going to give you simply just that, the basics of basics, and you're going to have to build your own system and install everything that you need, from dependencies to the actual packages as well. So that is what you would want to do if you want to build your own custom one. But the actual live CD that you want to download is going to be the XFCE version of that one. Will give you the actual desktop environment. Now, the other one that I want to note on this web page is this one, the documentation pages. When you go to the documentation pages, it is a very thorough page. You will not find, outside of maybe Gentoo, some of the Arch, documentations. This page is absolutely thorough. It will go from history, installation, configuration, all the way down to contributing. I mean, it is awesome. And it's got section for package manager, advanced usages, all that good stuff. That's what I want to take a look at and show you on the package manager here. These are the commands that you could use for using the XBPS package manager. As you can see, the way XBPS install, but you put the dash in between, not space like you would with apt or DNF. And also you can use the XBPS source, which is building stuff from source. But either way, you could do that. You could also re-index your local binary packages repositories, and you could also fix issues with the package database. For that, you could also switch to alternatives. You can find alternatives provided, by packages as well. So that is just a look at the actual web page, and the most important part, the documentation that you will need to look at if you're a complete noob, but it'll give you a great reference point, and therefore you can use it very well. Okay, so here is the live CD that I booted up into my virtual machine. The virtual machine has 8 gigs of RAM and 10 gigs of hard drive space. This is the welcome screen that you get when you go to log in. Now, it has 2 users. It has Anon, and it has root that you could boot into on the live CD, but you do this before you get into this. Otherwise, you cannot switch. But the password to get in is going to be void Linux, and it's the same for root. And this is the desktop that you greeted with. So now, to do the install, we'll take a look at this later once we get it installed. But to do the install, what you want to do is you want to launch the terminal. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's go ahead and go here. We're going to go to settings. We're going to go down to display. And we're going to change this to the 1920 by 1080 display resolution so you guys can see the screen a little bit better, and also more clear. There we go. So now we're going to launch our terminal. We're going to enlarge in this, and we're going to switch into a super user terminal. And then we're going to give the password that we set up. Oops. Which is void Linux that Dave installed, not we didn't set it up. That Dave installed, which is void Linux. And now, as you can see by the actual command prompt, we are actually, and let's go ahead and make this text a little bit larger for you guys. We are now actually in terminal proper under actual root. And so what we're going to do is we're going to type in void, dash installer, and hit enter. And now we're going to actually enter into the void installer. Okay. And so this is basically a text-based installer, or kind of like Ncurse's installer. So we're going to hit enter to hit OK. Now we're going to set up our keyboard, which we're going to go all the way down, and we're going to find ENUS. US right here. And then we're going to go to network. It's working properly because of the live installer already did the HTTP stuff. So it is okay. Then we're going to go down to source. We're going to do the packages from ISO image from local, because that's why we downloaded the ISO. We're going to set our mirror. In our mirror, we're going to go to North America, where I'm geographically located at. And the fastest one and the closest one to me is going to be the California one. So then, yes, we're going to continue. It just propagated the mirrors. Now we're going to set the host name, which I'm going to do void-VM. We're going to hit OK. Our system locale, we're going to go down to United States. Right here, United States. For our time zone, I'm going to go to America, and then I'm going to go all the way down to the one that usually propagates for me. Is going to be Los Angeles, which is not where I live at, but that's the one that I look for, because that's the one that's there. Our root password we're going to set, super strong one, and we're going to type it again. Our user account, we're going to create our user account. We're going to call it Alex, and our void, the display name, what the hell, we'll go TLT. And then we're going to enter a password once again, horrifically, NSA super encrypted one. And then this is going to be your selecting like your groups that you belong to. We're going to do the ones that are suggested, which are the important ones, which are the wheel, the floppy, the audio, the video, all that good stuff. You scroll down to make sure that your CD-ROM optical, so you could use devices, the KVM for the kernel, XBuilder, and of course that is okay. Oh, that's pretty well okay with me. You could like check any of those or all of them if you want, but that's kind of dangerous because then you're like pretty much so a root person, root administrator versus a sudoer. So bootloader, we're going to install the bootloader to that disk, which is going to be the VDA one. So we're going to do that, and we're going to use a graphical bootloader. Yes, we are. So now we're going to partition the disk. We're going to select the VDA disk that we're going to partition, CF disk, which is so easy to use, and we're going to hit OK. This is a little warning to use, for BIOS boot system, MBR GPT partition tables are supported. To use GPT on a PC BIOS system, and an empty partition of 1 megabyte must be added at the first part. At the first 2 gigabytes of disk with the toggle BIOS grub enabled. You don't need this on EFI systems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to hit GPT. And then on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new partition. And I'm just going to do what I always do, which I'm going to create a 512 M. You can do M. You don't have to do MIB, but M. And we're going to go to type. We're going to actually go up here and do a BIOS boot. So that's more than the little whatever bit that it said that we needed to. That's the standard one. And then I'm going to create another one. And this one is going to be, I only gave it 10 gigs. So let's do 2 gigs, 2 Gs. And we're going to select that. We're going to go to type. And we're going to make it a little bit of a swap file system. So we're going to make that as swap. And then the next one, we're going to hit new. It's going to select the whole, that's the remainder, and the type. We're going to make the actual Linux file system. And so that's it. So now we're going to write it. Now this part is important. Most people in like Fdisk, you hit Y. This one, you cannot hit Y and go. As you can see down at the bottom, it says type yes. So you have to type the full yes. Otherwise, it will not write it. As you can see, the partition tables have been altered, and now it is safe to quit. So you'll go ahead and quit. Then you're going to go and configure your file system mount points. The only thing you want to do is you want to go down here to Dev3, VDA3. You're going to select BTRFS, and you're going to hit your root directory, which is not the question, that is actually the /, and you're going to hit OK. You're going to hit yes. Now you are done. You hit tab over to done, and then you move on to the actual install. And so we're going to go ahead and start installing it. Are you sure we want to do this? Because it's going to format and everything's going to be destroyed on there. We're going to hit yes. So now it's doing that. When it is done, I will resume the video, and we'll take a look at the distribution. Okay, so that didn't take very long. It only took about 4 or 5 minutes actually altogether. So let's go ahead and hit yes for rebooting our system. And it's going to reboot, and we're going to let it do its thing. Here you go. And there we go. Now we are installed, up and running. I mean, it was lightning fast to reboot, wasn't it? I mean, that was just amazing. We're going to type our super secret password there. And once again, this is what we're greeted with. We're going to go to the actual settings. And we're going to go to display. And we're going to set it to 1920 by 1080, which is, I've lost it. Here we go. We're going to hit apply. And now we are doing well. We're going to keep this configuration. We're going to close out of that. And this is it. This is Void Linux. You're actually up and running right now. I mean, it's that simple, that fast. So it's your standard XFCE desktop, which you've got your bar at the top, and you got your little plank at the bottom, or your bar dock at the bottom, excuse me. On the desktop, it's got the trash icon, the file system, and the actual home. For your home directory, if you click on it, it's going to actually open up your Thunar, which is their actual packet or file manager. And as you can see, it's your standard I've already did a video on Thunar, and it's powerful and flexibility. I love this file manager. It's a great little file manager. It does everything you need. It's lightweight. It's very versatile. So check out that video. For the applications up here at the top, you can see it's your typical drop-down menu, which is on standard for XFCE. Also, you can go to right-click on the desktop, and you can actually have it right here as well. So if you get rid of this panel at the top because you want more real estate and you're a minimalist, then you can just simply use the right-click function to get to your applications. So either way, that is a look at over here on the right-hand side. You've actually got your power session over here, which has got your username, which is TLT, which is what I put, and then you can select your logout or whatever. Next to that, you have calendar, which is nice, you know, I mean, and then you have your actual information tray here, your system tray, which actually has your, you know, network connectivity, your volume, which is low, you know, I mean, you got your battery power, and then you got any notifications here. If you click on this, it'll give you a notification. You can set do not disturb, all that good stuff. Then, of course, you have your 4 different virtual desktops up here next to that. And so that is basically the overview of the entire desktop environment. So now we'll go ahead and take a look at the actual applications that are installed. You got your run program, which is your task manager, your tasker, which is your run, which you can type like OBS or, you know, whatever you want to find, or like say Thunar, and you can just go to Thunar right here. Boom, there it is. Hit enter, and there you go. It's your run launcher. So there's that. Then you got your terminal emulator, of course, which is going to be the XFCE terminal, which is right here. Now, you know what? I'll go over that later. The XBPS thing. When you install Void Linux, you're going to do a system update, obviously, as you would with anyone. And to do that, you use XBPS to do that, and we'll show you. But so there's, you got your file manager, your mail reader, you've got your web browser, which is, we're going to go ahead and open that up, which is going to be my, as usual, standard, you know, go-to for pretty much almost, it's either Brave or Firefox, and it's Firefox here. The version that they have should be, I want to say like 117, 118 maybe. 115. No, they're on 115, not 116. Sorry. So that's their stable, most current one that they have. So it's 115. So it's your standard Firefox. Under settings, you have all your settings from your appearance. This is where you can set your dark themes or your light themes, your icons, all that good stuff. Under your color profiles, you can set your color profiles right through here, which you can, you know, add them, make them, whatever. Then you have default applications. This is you can set. This is your desktop preferences, your display ones, your file manager settings, Pavoo's right here, and pretty much so the XFCE screensaver is right here, or X screensaver is what is there, but and then XFCE terminal settings. So for accessories, you have to note really your task manager, which you open it up. Let's make that large. You can kill tasks right here, and also it shows you your CPUs and your memory, which is, if you notice, it's very, very, like 1% of my CPU, and my memory is 600 megabits, and that's just doing it, you know, with me opening stuff. So, but you know, I prefer to use like H. For that, the development, you got your icon browser for graphics, you got Risotto image viewer, nothing else, no, you know, like GIMP or anything like that is not installed. There's not a lot of bloat to this distro. That's why the ISO is so small. Like I said, it's very lightweight, so it runs well on, you know, limited resources. Computers. For internet, obviously you've got Firefox, which we looked at, multimedia. You got the Parole media player, and you got Pavoo control. Parole is a front end, I think, for MPV. Yep, it is. It's awesome. MPV is awesome. It does not have, which it could be, you know, 50-50 between MPV or VLC. I think VLC personally is a much more stronger, multifaceted, multi-use media player, because it doesn't just play videos, it also does MP3s, it does everything, and it's got all the codecs that you'll need already built into it. So if you're using a FOSS distribution, and you get VLC on there, you're good to go. For system, you got your task manager, which you open it up again. We took a look at it already. It's the same thing. It's in two places. And then you got your file manager and your XFCE terminal, which is cool. And then, of course, you got about XFCE, all that good stuff. Now, as of note, this probably does not have HTOP in it or NeoFetch or anything like that installed because it's, it's lightweight. So to do that, you're going to have to learn how to do the XBPS. And as you noted, there was no add or remove applications. So you have to use the XBPS through command line, which is not a bad thing. So to do it, first thing you want to do, we're going to go ahead and update. And you're going to type the XBPS command -install. This is to do the update, right? I'll type it right. Space -SU, and this is going to update. What the heck? Hang on. The problem is I forgot to type in sudo. You have to use sudo privileges. And now I'm going to give it my password. What the heck? Okay, I cleared the terminal. Let's try this again. Sudo XBPS -install. That's what it was. I was typing in XBPS wrong. -SU. Give it our password. That's right. So now it needs to update the repository. Now to do that, you just simply need this to update the repository and the actual databases itself. So we're going to type in sudo, and then I'm just going to control paste it in. Not that. Damn it. I cannot type today. And yes, we're going to hit yes. And now we're doing our update. Oops. Let's go ahead and make that a little bit smaller in text so that it's more legible. And so 2 are installed, 2 are updated. And so now we can actually run the actual system update. And now we have all this that is ready to install. So we'll go ahead and do the update. I'll pause it, and then when it's done, we'll resume. Okay, that finished very quickly. It only took about, I'd say 3-4 minutes. So now we have a completely up-to-date system. So let's go ahead and clear this terminal. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's use the actual package manager. Obviously, some of your more common packages are going to be in there, like VLC, all that good stuff. But say you want to install like OBS. Okay, we're going to take it OBS, and you're not sure if it's in the package manager because it is an independent, and not every independent distribution has every package out there like a large one would, like Debian or Ubuntu or Arch or that kind of stuff. So let's go to do that. You want to query or search your repositories to find out if they have it. And what you do is you type sudo xbps-query, right? And then you want to give it the flag of the capital R for repository and S to search, right? And you hit enter. Oh, my bad. Let's clear that again. I forgot to actually give it the package name. So you're going to hit over there and then space and then OBS, right? And then now this tells you everything that has any OBS in it in any way, shape, or form. And as you can see here at the bottom is the 29.3. So it's in there, and you can it tells you the version of it and everything. So now what I'm going to do is instead of doing that, instead of query, we're going to just simply type install. Space, and now it's going to install OBS. We're going to hit yes, and away it goes. And so now it's complete. And see how fast this package manager is? That's the other thing that I really, really like. So it should be under multimedia, and there it is, OBS Studio. You click on it, and there it is, 29.1 right there. So we're not going to set it up. We're just going to close out of it. We're going to clear this again. And this time, instead of querying, we're just going to run our command again. But let's let's do VLC. What the heck? And there it is. It's in there. So we hit yes. We're installing, and it will be done very quickly. And it's done just like that. So now we'll clear it. We'll go under applications. We're going to go under probably multimedia. And there's VLC right there. Boom. You could do that with pretty much so every application to find out whether they have it or whether if it's already in there, it'll propagate and do the install right away. But if you're wondering if it's maybe you mistyped the name or whatever, you can just query it that way as well. Now, you want to remove it. It's basically the same thing, only instead it's remove. We want to hit yes. Gone, just like that. Go under applications and the multimedia, and VLC's gone, just like that. So that is how you use the XBPS file manager, which is the most pivotal and difficult part outside of the way to install it. It's the most difficult thing to actually use in this distribution. Other than that, it's just your standard XFCE desktop environment, which is very lightweight. Of course, they do. You could query other desktop managers or environments. Sorry, excuse me, that you may want to use in there. Like KDE, GNOME, whatever. I'm sure they have them in there. You could also go to their GitHub, probably look at their repository over there, and find out which ones they have available over there, or maybe even do a little Google search. Either way, that is a look at Void Linux. Great little distribution, very flexible, very easy to use. Outside of just forcing you to use command line to install packages, it's actually very noob friendly. It's probably your more advanced, very noob friendly ones out there. So if you've not tried Void Linux, give it a try. I highly suggest it. If you got older hardware, you definitely want to try to run this one on. It's a great distribution for that. If you've used it and you had issues with it, please comment down below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up or a like in the video. It only helps out this video so much. It helps my channel. If you had an experience with it and you had a fix or solution for it, go ahead and comment that down below as well. And if you've got any other future suggestions, you can either comment in the comments down below, or you can reach me over on Discord, or, I'm on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, all that good stuff. Either way, you guys do what you do. I have a actual person that's going to start managing our multimedia, so our presence is going to be everywhere. So keep an eye out for the links tube on TikTok and everything else. So, all right, guys. Either way, you guys have a good one. I'll say what I always say, which is y'all keep doing what you do. Keep on Linuxing. Have a great day. Stay blessed. And above all, I'll see you in the very next one.